What is going on to you, Scorpio? So you Scorpios have the King of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and you have the Four of Wands. Okay, so very interesting. So the top line, or the top column, right? Or I should say the top line has kind of your experiences that you Scorpios have went through as of recently. Not so recently to the point where it immediately just happened to you, but recently enough to where you definitely pull some form of experience out of it. Look, the King of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and the Four of Wands, wanting to find someone that's a very good match for you, a person where it doesn't have to be like a battle. It does not have to be that way when you are in these people's lives, right? They're not trying to create arguments with, for no good, real, valid reason, just because the real reason is they continue to do that to keep you around, right? And the King of Swords, the King of Pentacles and the Two of Swords represent, them always trying to be in low-key competition with you. Flex, like, them flexing like they're in competition with you. You Scorpios don't want to have to go through that, right? It's always some sort of problem. This person is always trying to create some sort of issue with you, where a lot of you have all, you know what I mean? You and this person just don't get along, because it just seems like this person is always being unpredictable, right? They're so bored, but what they perceive to be unpredictable and exciting is getting on your nerves, acting like you Scorpios are stupid. Y'all don't know the difference between when somebody's trying to give you a hard time because they like running game. You Scorpios being able to see through all of that nonsense, and you see how stupid that is. The Three of Swords and the Two of Pentacles now is about how, because of that, right, you end up leaving them, Three of Swords and the Two of Pentacles, and then they act like you were the terrible person, right? They tried to flip it around on you. Now, they're terrible people. They're outstandingly awful people. They're dysfunctional, right? But you Scorpios are just done with dealing with somebody where you want to be with them long term, but they bicker, fight, fuss, argue with you. It's a power struggle. They don't know how to work with you as a team. They turn it into a power struggle where who has the power and who doesn't have the power, right? You have to disempower them before they disempower you. And and quite appropriate, because I'm speaking of Scorpio, and Scorpio is about power, right? You Scorpios know what it feels like to be disempowered. Y'all don't want to get back to that. Scorpios usually feel disempowered very much so at a young age. You Scorpios don't want to deal with that. So as a result of that, you Scorpios don't find that to be attractive. You don't find that like enticing. Dark chocolate melts in your mouth. You don't find that nice. You have a bitter taste in your mouth when it comes to that stuff. When it comes to interacting with people who are like that, it's like it's just disgusting, because here you Scorpios are trying to be in a relationship and stuff, and they're just not intelligent. Says the Temperance, the Page of Wands, and the Seven of Pentacles. They're looking at you Scorpios like y'all are the come-ups. Anyone that they interact with, they're playing the same game, but they're giving a facade to different people, while doing some of the same things. So now the Temperance and the Page of Wands represents how you Scorpios, again, You know too much. You've been around the block too many times. You've seen these type of patterns way too many times for you to not act like you don't see what's going on. That's why it is that you stop talking to them in the first place. You see this thing for what it is. You see anybody who's coming to you running a game as doing just that, running a game. You see it for what it is. So now, the Seven of Pentacles is all about how you as Scorpios, you see people looking at you like a come up. They're not really interested in being in a relationship with you, right? Some of the people that you've dated in the past, to be more particular. When I say they, right? So as a result, you get away from them, you learn, you grow. You don't want to have anything to do with them. What happens? The justice is what happens. You are not around them. They get what they put out of, they get what they put into a relationship. Nothing. Because you have to understand, Scorpio, that delusional people really are quite delusional. They have this delusion of grandeur that they deserve, because that's a huge key word for people who are caught up with that now. They deserve all of this value that's going to be given to them. Trinkets, money, gold, cars, houses, land, planet. They deserve all of that, right? But they actually produce less than what they act like they deserve. When you interact with them, right? When you or anyone else who's well-to-do interacts with them, they have a superiority complex. They don't know how to act like they're on a high horse. They interact with you and they say things to you, Scorpios, and they get on with you, Scorpios, like they got a problem with you. And the reason why is because they do have a problem with you. They don't like the fact that you Scorpios are successful. And especially now, they don't like the fact that you Scorpios, you know how to be Scorpios, you know how to be attractive, alluring, right? All of that other stuff. But you Scorpios are not in competition. You Scorpios are not jealous-hearted and envious the way that you used to be. You Scorpios, remember Scorpio is the zodiac sign of jealousy. Stop. Scorpio is the zodiac sign of it being ruled by Mars. It shares some traits with Aries. Competition and all of that. Trying to keep up with the Joneses. But you Scorpios ain't doing that. You Scorpios are not looking for another Scorpio thing. Y'all are not holding grudges. Y'all are not looking for revenge. So because of the fact that y'all have learned to let that go, you're concentrating on yourself. And now that you're able to concentrate on yourself, you realize what it is that you Scorpios need to do. And so now, this is where you get the real competition from. Other people don't like the fact that you Scorpios have, maybe you're climbing, you want to climb the social hierarchy. Maybe you've stopped trying to climb the social hierarchy to appease other people. But either way, you Scorpios are very much so doing your own thing. And because of the fact that you are secure, they don't like that. You're willing to give. People who are generous but have a backbone, there's a level of security with them that truly dysfunctional people, narcissistic people who are really that, they can't stand that. So what do they have to do? They have to break you down. They have to make it seem like you're the ones with the issues. And the Seven of Pentacles, they have to, but they also at the same time have to give you credit for the fact that you have, hold on. Sorry about that. I got to take care of my humble abode. Y'all already know. But the Seven of Pentacles is about just that. Right? It's about, they still have to give you credit because you, Scorpio, still built something for yourself. And the Justice and the Eight of Pentacles, you Scorpios are not in competition with other people. So because you Scorpios are not in competition, guess what that means? It means that, like I said, you're focusing on yourself. Now that you Scorpios are single, watch all the options. If they call themselves that, but watch all the options come in. Watch all the people that, when you're looking, they act like they're too good for you. Now that you Scorpios don't care, watch how many options you get. Let's clarify the Eight of Pentacles. You don't think it's a competition, Scorpio? Walk down the street. Look good and walk down the street. Be aware of your surroundings, of course, but don't really try too hard to look at a lot of people. They looking at you. Not all, probably, but some people are. Three of Wands, Five of Pentacles, Ten of Wands. Sorry about that. The Page of Wands, and then you have the Hierophant. To clarify the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, the Three of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, because you Scorpios have choices. If a person isn't feeling you, you can always go talk to somebody else. You have all the time in the world. You're building yourself, is what I'm trying to say. You're building yourself. And that, I'm not going to say all the time in the world. That was wrong to say that. But you're building yourself. And not only are you Scorpios building yourself, taking care of yourself, taking care of your needs, but also, Five of Pentacles, you're also not putting up with the needless arguments because they want your attention. The Ten of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the Hierophant, you'll leave them alone. If you can always travel. The world is now opened up to be your dating market. This is what I want you Scorpios to understand. The world is your dating market. It's not just where you are locally. Believe me, the Ten of Wands and the Page of Wands. So the Ten of Wands is about who you Scorpios were 6 months ago. At the beginning, at the top of the year, is not who you are now. And then you have the Hierophant. Who you are now is a person who's a lot more spiritually tuned into who you are. You listen to yourself a lot more. You pay attention to your thoughts. And not only that too, but you Scorpios also listen to your own instincts as well, which means that that's a very good thing to do because they give you clues as to they give you clues as to the parts of who you are. In other words, what I'm trying to say here is when you don't want to do something legitimately, you don't want to participate when a person is trying to take advantage of you. In other words, they'll tell you they want to go to this restaurant, and you Scorpios would be like, no. And then now it's like, oh, okay. And you Scorpios even get surprised yourselves at what's going on, right? How it is that other people are like giving you a hard time. And you Scorpios better do this, you Scorpios better do that, you Scorpios better do this, you Scorpios better do that. And you Scorpios are like, Scorpios better do this. And then you actually redefine it for yourself. You define what it means to be a Scorpio as a Scorpio for yourselves. And then now others are like, oh, okay. And they just got to deal with it. That's where you Scorpios are. You Scorpios are in a time of self-determining or autonomy, figuring things out for yourselves, what it is that you want to do. So that's it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. There's a link in the comment section below called a Linktree link. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website where there's all the ways to get a personal reading from me, as well as the books that I have that are on Amazon, or you can contact me at Kareemspiritworks at yahoo.com.